Let's go!
So the next step was to get this thing on a proper ECU, especially with all the technology that Link has to offer.
Which should give us full communication and full control over all the sensors.
But so far, being able to log in and review every lap has been a huge plus. To have Link pull through and step up for us and just help us out to be able to all pull it together.
That's all we need. Simple, cheap, easy, works, good ECU, weatherproof.
It's got enough IOs too, like we're doing tons of stuff. Oil, fuel pressure, boost control.
All those features I have thanks to the Link ECU.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
The final touch to my dream build is a Sony Mobile ES system. Time to cruise with Sony Mobile ES.
モータースポーツで得た高度な技術をすべてのレイズホイール一本に込める魂は永遠に変わらないビヨンド・ザ・レボリューションザ・コンセプト・イズ・レーシング
What a beautiful day here in New Jersey. The Garden State is about to be the Smoky State because this is round 4 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship as we make our way over what I call the Crazy 8, the figure 8 track. Holy cow!
Everything felt awesome.
Whoa, buddy. They banked doors, they banked back wheels. What the heck was that? Unbelievable. Adam LZ, James Dean, RTR. An RTR vehicle will win. Adam LZ with the nasty backwards entry. Adam LZ gets the win. We'll see you online and we'll see you another time. Send it from the Gymnasium.
All right, New Jersey and everybody sitting at home, we are here for the pro practice at Old Bridge Township Raceway Park in Englishtown, New Jersey. My name is Jacob Gettens. We have a very, very special guest on for you today. A driver that I very much enjoyed watching for years, Mr. Matt Kaufman. What's going on?
How you doing, buddy?
Dude, I'm great, man. As soon as I heard you were in town, I was like, I think we got to get him on the show.
Oh, dude, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. No, it's cool to see you over on the East Coast. Obviously, you just came from Grid Life, Drift Appalachia, hanging out in town for a little bit. Probably see you drive some on Sunday.
Yeah, it's Sunday, and then I'm going to be out for the rest of the Grid Life season. And then, honestly, I'm kind of just like, whenever somebody says, "Oh, there's an event here," like I'm on board. So.
That's cool. That's cool. You still driving the S chassis for all those?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Yep. It's the only car I got. I actually took apart my last car, my first car, so that we could, make this one work.
Oh, cool. And I'd heard you had swapped over from the Ford engine to an LS, right?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Yeah, finally.
Finally. Dude, that Ford was wild. Like, it sounded so cool.
Yeah, and it was just, it's old technology. The thing is that rebuilds on those motors, like, just unjustifiably expensive. And then also, like, it just made 1,000 horsepower NA, no nitrous, but it only ever made, like, maybe 500 to 400 foot-pounds of the wheel. And so, being out here with these cars, like, all making 1,100 foot-pounds or so, like, it's just not working.
Yeah. It's just you need especially in today's day and age, you need that torque. So it's pretty wild. Got Adam LZ out on track right now in the BMW. So won here last year, which is pretty nuts. I mean, that was a huge setup talking about Ford engines and crazy revving and stuff like that.
He's such a good driver too.
Dude,
talented kid.
Yeah. It's just amazing to see like what he's been able to do and the progression, and then getting him out in the BMW now is pretty sick too. It's like a car everybody wanted him in.
That car's so fast.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's nutty.
Yeah, another Mustang up there. So Ben Hobson. I guess you would have driven against some RTRs back in the day. Like, you remember how wild they were back then? And
they were just so fast.
Yeah.
Their engine setup's a little bit more sophisticated than ours. They were running nitrous and like a bigger bore than we were, and so we were 410. I think that they're 440s or 460s or something like that. Okay. So, yeah, those things got some run for sure.
Yeah, just absolutely. I mean, they're super dynamic too, right? Like, the amount of suspension travel that's going on with them, you can just see, look at how much it's bouncing.
It's insane.
But it's meant to do that. They're weight jacking. They're using all these other motorsport disciplines and technologies to get it to work.
Yeah, for sure. And it shows. I mean, dude, their speed gauge is just insane.
Yeah.
And it's funny how responsive those engines are to different intake manifold setups as well.
Really?
Yeah, because I know that they bounce between ITBs to carb style intakes, just a whole bunch of different stuff.
Is that because it's like a dual overhead or overhead cam setup as opposed to?
No, they're push rod. They're push rod motors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Old technology. I think they're based on old Windsor motors.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm curious what it is just about that much of a difference with intake manifolds on that engine specifically.
Well, same thing. Whenever I mention to somebody that we made 1,000 horsepower NA, they're always shocked, especially engine builders. But we were running 14.71 compression, so they're really snappy. I love them. They just there's not that much aftermarket for them. Yeah, everything you have to develop for yourself, and so on and so forth. My car right now, the LS car, it already makes way more torque, and most of that motor was built on on the internet, ordering parts offline. And if you ever need some, it's sitting down at O'Reilly's.
It's cool that we've gotten to that point now where you can just make 6,000-8,000 horsepower. You just have to figure out what your budget is, and then that will tell you how much horsepower you can make, or vice versa.
That's great.
Pick your horsepower, and it tells you what your budget is.
Well, and there's just so much so much knowledge about the platform. It's just so much more simple.
Yeah. Are you still running a banner on the back wing? I remember it was this machine's built for war.
So I took off the rear wing, so it's just just a slick back, and I moved a new saying up to the windshield, and it's instead of this machine was built for war, now I have the Ghost machine.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and which has multiple symbolisms for me.
Yeah. I mean, obviously from just a completely different culture. Where were you pulling all those phrases from? Was it from different places? Just when you heard something, you're like, oh, I need that.
Well, there's a couple different just philosophical points to it. When I left FD, it's not easy. And that's why so many people are out here pouring every single dollar they have out of their pocket to be here. For the passion. It's and especially you dream of it, and once you get here and it sinks its teeth in. And so when I was forced out of the series, due to my fracture, and kind of just a multitude of other things happened in my life that basically was all signs pointing to not going back, to kill off essentially those dreams of yourself, that I kind of viewed myself as not being the same human that I was when I was here. And so it's the Ghost is kind of in reference to who I don't know. It's
it's
weird
interesting.
stuff. Yeah.
Well, it's got to be tough. I mean, to put everything into the sport, and then with the fracture and everything else, like what it's like, and it's a very difficult sport to compete in, like just to get
so
the results out of it. Like looking at some of the drivers that are coming up, we had Andy Haley making the jump, RCP Rome that's been doing well, but like, what is that? What's that motivation like to try and keep going and keep battling to get those results? You did decent for sure, but if I'm not mistaken, like never won an event.
No, we had a couple fourth places. We did have one season where we started off in 6th, and we finished out that season in 10th place, and we had a tie for first place qualifier against James Dean in Texas. Like it was a good year for us. Yeah, it's difficult. Like anything that anybody loves, it's like to set it down willingly or like and on purpose is it's hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. These guys, like everybody out here deserves to be here. Like it's these guys going toe to toe with each other is just it's incredible to watch. Yeah, there's so many thoughts when you think about it. It's hard to really quantify.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's everything. You're putting your entire life into a motorsport and a dream to try and make something out of it and see where it goes from there, right?
Yeah, but in today's day and age, it's like I consider myself lucky, or anybody else out here lucky to be passionate about anything at all.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people today aren't so lucky, or unlucky enough to not be able to find what they're passionate about. And so I consider myself very fortunate and lucky to have discovered that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great place. It's really a field of dreams for a lot of people.
It's a good way of putting it. I mean, this is kind of a, we're going to get Chris Knapp on after this, but you build it and they will come.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this is. So
it is.
It's a nice little segue to that.
This is my first time I've ever been here. When I left, this place didn't exist yet, and so being able to sit up here and like actually see it, it is special.
It's different. It definitely has a different feel, like having the fans on either side, knowing the history of the road course over there, knowing the history of what this drag strip used to be.
Yep.
Like it does, man. Like I'm not a massively spiritual person or anything, but like there is a feeling here. There's a feeling in Atlanta. There's a feeling in Irwindale.
Yeah.
And we get those very rarely, but when it happens, you're like, oh man, like there's something going on here.
Yeah, passion leaves a footprint, and so like anytime you've ever been into someone's old shop that they've been in there for like 60 years, like even just today I was at a motorcycle shop getting my nitrous bottles filled, and they had like all the photos of like all the drag bikes that they had worked on over the years, like, and you can just sense it when a place has meant a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. This is just concrete and steel, realistically.
Yeah.
So is Irwindale. So is any other track. But
so are cars, though.
Yeah. It's stories, man. Like you can almost just feel the stories that have been made here.
You can.
Right.
Yeah. But, no, truly an honor to be here.
Yeah. No, it's dude. I'm, like I said, I'm happy that you came out here and made the entire trip out from the West Coast.
Yep, I had to get back into it. Like I miss being out on the road and just having great times with people that you care about. I think I haven't been smiling for like a month straight, like because I've just been around some of my best friends, just like having a great time. Yeah. Did
you have a favorite track when you were running the series?
Probably Long Beach.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I always look forward to driving Long Beach. I know a lot of people are pretty timid of it because it's a car eater. Like if something goes wrong, like something. But that's almost a similar thing. It's like it's just tarmac and steel and like all that stuff. But it's another field of dreams for people. It's like when people, I think like people outside of the series, when they look at Formula D or imagine like they think of Long Beach or they think of like Irwindale or one of those tracks.
Yeah.
But it's special places.
For sure. What's I'm not sure if you're keeping up on the series, but like what are your thoughts on just the progression in both FD but like in drifting in general?
It's way gnarlier today. Like the speed that these cars are able to pump out, it's hard to fathom, really. My car was never really like that fast. It was still a front mount rad car. I just never really had my set up super dialed, and I got to ride in one of my friend's cars. That was only a Pro 2 car, and just had like with a big set of tires, and like it made me almost emotional on the spot because I felt like I had wasted so many years trying to make my S chassis work, and then just to see like what a truly competitive car can do, I didn't know a car could feel like that. And so, yeah. It's insane. These cars, like people look at it and they're like, oh, that's easy. It is not easy to be out here with these guys.
Well, and we're making it look easier with the drivers getting younger and younger too, which is crazy. Like we had the top 10 up there, and then you start to see the age range of all of those drivers, and realizing that, like, you know, we've got Hiro Manoa, that's 14. Simon Olsen's in his early 20s. You know, Sorensen is still, I think he just turned 20.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how much younger the series is getting with that.
It's insane.
It's like the progression, right? Like the older drivers are, not that they're really retiring, but they are. You know, we're at that point.
And it's a lot, I think a lot, I mean, man, I'm pretty young considering some of the other drivers. I'm 31, but it's like, you know, my sim rig when I was young was like, you know, ripping quads around the farm.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and for a lot of these other drivers, the same thing. It's like their exposure to being able to, like, you know, feel these sensations, because nobody's mom was taking them to the grocery store, you know, full lock in the Camaro. But like, yeah, it's so these kids being able to grow up, spend 3 or 4 or 5 hours on a sim a day, it's insane. The performance gap that's there for versus age group is just it's unfathomable.
Well, it's I mean, drivers setting goals and inspiration and knowledge early, and then it starts to trickle down, right? Like, one of the arguments I've made consistently is, like, what is developed here in FD and at the highest levels of drifting does trickle down to grassroots, right? Like, the reasons why you can go online right now and just buy an angle kit for almost any drift chassis is because of the development that happens here.
Sure.
But the same thing with that knowledge, like drivers figuring out how to run, you know, James Dean figuring out how to run so well is the reason why a Connor Shanahan is so phenomenal right out the gate.
Yeah,
right.
Because really, everybody out here, especially some of the older guys, it's like they were the pioneers of America. Of course, you know, Japan had it, you know, a decade before us, or even more time than that. But still, it's just like, really, like, everybody's been figuring this out as it goes.
Yeah.
Like there's like not in NASCAR or like, you know, shifter carts or like anything like that where the formula's been figured out, and it's like, and all you have to do is, like, you know, arrange the little pieces how you prefer.
Yeah.
Like, this is all the build styles of, like, how people lay stuff out, or like the theory of, like, what people believe like makes things work is it's so varied. Like, there's no set and cut. Yeah, there's no cookie cutter build.
No, it's the customization is absolutely wild.
Yeah, everybody's developing their own stuff. It's wild.
Well, it's interesting too when you have to, like, make leaps. Like, we've got, you know, Ben Hobson, who came out of, you know, kind of Odie's camp with the S chassis into the RTR camp with something completely different. Like, that change in such a drastic chassis difference has got to be tough. I mean,
yeah.
You talked about just, you know, driving a friend's vehicle, but, like, just anytime you jump into a new car, it's a completely different experience.
Yeah, Ben's such a talented kid, but, like, the RTR cars are, you know, cars in and of themselves. Like, nobody is going to jump in that thing and just, like, because that's the other thing. It's like, even though these cars are difficult to drive, comfort is what really makes, like, some of these people drive the way that they do.
Oh,
like,
interesting.
Well,
yeah, I know.
Like, a lot of people
faith that the car is going to do what you think it's going to do.
Right. It's like, it's the same thing. People, like, you know, they reference like our entry at Laguna and stuff, and they're like, oh, that must be crazy. And it's like, for me, it's just because I grew up driving at a Thunderhill Raceway in Northern California, and I was doing like 120 mile an hour backies when I was like 18, 19 years old. And so it's like, that sort of stuff is just comfortable. And so, like, that lap at Laguna was like, we did that on our second lap out. I've never driven the track, never sim drove it. It was just, I'm just comfortable. Like, and so, yeah, it's great. So no matter, it would take a lot more time to jump into an RTR car and be comfortable compared to all the other vehicles.
It's going to take a bit, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, on that note of the Laguna, congrats on that kind of getting viral again, which is crazy. I was honored that I was able to watch that in person. I think I have my own. I think I showed you the video of it. And
really?
Yeah. I've got a copy. Not that wasn't my clip that blew up, unfortunately, somebody else's. But
my friend Tommy's.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you, Tommy, for everything.
It's crazy seeing Sports Center sharing it. You know, hopefully we get a couple other outlets that bring it up too.
Yeah, ESPN was talking to us about using it. Yeah, Sports Center, a couple other, like, off-brand kind of, like, groups, but yeah, no, it's on.
It's good. It's good for the sport. It's good for everybody.
It is. It's sitting. Yeah. It's just waiting for those doors to open for you. Like, I don't know. Like, you can force things as long as you want, but all of a sudden, like, you sit against the wall, and, like, those doors will just.
Yeah.
The doors that are meant for you will pop open.
Yeah.
And so it's changed my life, like, literally overnight.
Well, before we wrap, I do have to ask, any thoughts on returning? What would it take? Is it maybe a big door opening and you're like, all right, I'm gonna walk through it then?
I'm waiting for that door to open, yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, just like with everything in life, it's like you really should stick with your gut and what feels right. And I'm just waiting for the moment to feel right. I have the people around me that I really care about. Some of my best friends are like, helping me on the team. We understand much more about the formulas that we would want to use to like come back. So we definitely do joke about it and we talk about it. So maybe in the future, we'll see.
Cool.
We'll see.
Dude, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, buddy.
I'm glad you guys came on. We'll have to get you on the full show.
Yes, sir.
I think a full podcast.
Let's do it. Awesome.
All right, we're going to cut to a bit of a break here, everybody, and when we come back, we're going to have Chris Knapp on, who's going to give us a kind of a history lesson here on this amazing complex. So stick around. We'll be back with more practice, more interviews.
Welcome to Orlando Speed World.
How could you not love to see cars ripping around a track?
You know Ken Block never signed boobs?
Keep it goofy.
Yeah.
This is a page in the history book that we will never forget.
Let's send it! SPF 100 for this guy. Look how pale this guy is.
Ginger, man.
Yeah, this guy. You said it. I didn't say it.
We're at Formula Drift Orlando. Drove 1,200 miles from Massachusetts to see Formula Drift here.
How could you not love to see cars ripping around a track? Smoking out the whole place. Good time.
What's going on here with this hat? Are you big fisherman?
No, I'm just goofy.
You are goofy.
Thank you.
Yeah. And big Taguchi fan.
Yes, I'm a big 8.6 guy.
Okay. Oh, you got Manoa shirt on, dude. What, new fan?
Yeah, new fan.
Yeah?
I like him.
Manoa. There it is. That's what we're talking about.
Look at these guys. These maniacs came from Quebec. You guys are a little more, Canada. It's like, woo! You're like, ah! You know Ken Block never signed boobs?
I don't care.
I know. What up, man? Jared, nice to meet you. Dude, calm down, okay? Just relax.
These guys. Awesome. It's an all-Irish final. Shanahan versus Dean. Woo! This place is going to get erupting. The question is, which bar are we going to?
It's honestly a little bit emotional for me. I used to say when I was a kid watching James and FD, if I ever go there, I want to share my first final with him. So I'm looking forward. I'm going to enjoy this, to be honest. America, I'm here, baby.
Orlando! Let's send it! The finals are here in Orlando. Which Irish driver is going to get the win? James Dean initiates, big into the bank, big angle from him, an all-out show. James Dean in the crease, right there, the Nitto tire, and Shanahan on the door of James the Machine Dean. Shanahan continues on, and donuts and celebration. Shanahan, the FD rookie, comes out on top. This is a page in the history book that we will never forget.
This is the box that everybody wants, but there could be only one, and it was a Connor Shanahan. Dude, good vibes in Orlando. The best Orlando event we've ever had. Let's party, dude. We all won. We sent it here in Orlando. Let's send it!
All right, we are back here on the practice show. My name is Jacob Gettins, and now we have Mr. Chris Knapp on. Chris, what's up, dude?
Dude, thanks for having me.
Dude, happy to. I mean, you are like a man behind the scenes. That's what I like kind of getting to do. Like, for the indoctrinated into drifting, everybody knows who you are. For the casual fan, give me the rundown. Like, who are you? Who's the family? Why am I talking to you?
We're here. We're at my track. I run a school here at the track and do basic stuff, just keeping it going.
Yeah. Knapp family has like been a crucial thing in drifting now for what, 20 years?
Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
20 or 21, yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, you talk to a lot of the OGs and they will talk about the track in the back. I mean, this is relatively new in the grand scheme of drifting, but the road course, that's where so many of the pros that we know and love now have cut their teeth, right?
Oh, yeah, and then the parking lot right there.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan Turk, Chris Forsberg, Vaughn. I mean, I know Tony Angelo back in the day, all the Club Blue stuff that's gone on. So many drivers have come from this place, which is wild to think about.
Yeah, and we've actually found Ryan's and Vaughn's first ever tech card and gave it to him at a driver's meeting 22?
Okay.
21 or 22?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, his first
really cool.
tech card. That's so
ever.
crazy.
Both of them, their first ever tech card.
Yeah, that's so wild. I was chatting with Brian about this, that like there's so much history that we've got that like we're just kind of sitting on. Like I'm kind of weird. Like I keep all my brackets now. Like every bracket.
I love that.
Yeah. So like, cause like one day I know it like just seems like a pile of paper, but like one day I'm gonna look back and be like, this is the bracket from the first event I ever announced, right? Like stuff like that. I don't know. I'm weird nostalgic that way.
Oh, I do. I take a screenshot of the bracket and then I'll write names down or draw colored lines, and I'll see who gets through everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super, super cool. I mean, I don't know. The more I've fallen in love with the sport, the more history I've dug into, and honestly, so much of it does come back to this place. Like, it's wild, the drivers we've seen come out of it, still seeing come out of it. And then, obviously, you know, Kaufman actually talked about it, kind of called this, like, the field of dreams, like, the build it, and they will come. That's kind of what happened here.
Yeah.
Right?
This was 2019, this happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, like, feels like yesterday.
Right?
Yeah. I remember hearing conversations about it. They're like, yeah, they're going to turn a legendary drag strip into a drifting arena. And that to me very much seemed like a signal that the sport is like growing in a really substantial way.
Oh yeah, anything we can do to make the sport better, we're going to do it.
Yeah. What was that conversation like to do something like this?
You want to fit more people?
Yeah. It is. I mean, it's like, dude, there's a big set of grandstands on both sides, right?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's super cool. I mean, speaking of the development of Chris Forsberg on track now.
Oh, he was pretty much the main guy who designed this track with me and Kevin.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super sick. I mean, it makes for some amazing tandems. I mean, personally, I would love to see it change and develop more. But I also like am hesitant to be like pave all of it, because like then it just looks like a parking lot.
For sure.
Right? Like that's the playoff, but I do think that there's more that we can do. And speaking of crazy layouts, I mean, just the amount of history right there is crazy. The tree corner where you see that little blue and white tent, some of the coolest videos ever shot
of Kaufman.
Of Kaufman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got a really cool shot of like Mike Perez out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many legendary things that happened here. And then obviously all the dirt track next to it. It's crazy how big this facility is.
Yeah, we're 485 acres.
Wow. So that's got to push into the tree line and stuff too, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not great with like acreage and math, but that seems like there's still room to grow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Actually, the tree line that you can see off to the left is actually a fishing preserve, and that's ours
cool.
as well. Yeah.
Nice. Are you allowed to fish in it?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, you go to their window, pay the fee, and then go fishing.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
I did not bring any of my gear. Not that I'm a good fisherman.
Yeah.
And then Sneaky Pete's.
Oh, yeah.
Very classic. A lot of memories made and a lot of memories probably forgotten there.
Yeah. We'll be there on Sunday.
Sick. This is actually this is the first year I've stuck around for the Sunday event.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, I know. I've never had the time. I don't fly out till like 7 p.m. So
sick.
I've got the whole day to just hang out and observe, and I'm pretty excited for it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm even more excited now.
Dude, yeah, I'm happy just to be a fan again. I mean, that's at the end of the day, I'm a drifting fan, and like just to be able to sit and watch, like some of the best conversations you're gonna have are like sitting on the grandstands with a couple of buddies, just watching people drift and making fun of them.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? In the most like, I don't know, like in the best way possible.
Yep,
right?
definitely.
Just critiquing what everybody else can do. So.
Yeah, that's something I love about the sport. You can always watch and you can always learn something, and there's always new niches to get into.
Yeah.
Always something else to learn.
What was it like kind of growing up here? Like any things that you remember, like that you kind of fall back on?
Oh, where do I start?
What's like do you have like any really early memories where you're like, oh, I definitely like this is one of the first ones?
Oh, it was probably my first time seeing XDC.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with a Honda Element drifting.
Right? I do remember that.
Yep. That was, I was sitting in the passenger seat of my dad's truck, and I watched it go by, and I was like, what is that thing doing?
Yeah.
It was so cool. It was so cool to see.
It's got to be a trip now to go from that to this, right? Like this, I just Coliseum, like Drift Palace, like whatever you want to call it, right? Like
I like the Palace. That's cool.
Palace, yeah. Shed's at the Kemp on that one. He's the man behind that lingo, but yeah, it's wild, just how far we've come. I mean, I'm sure there were a lot of people that were kind of back and forth with shutting down the drag strip side of it, but obviously a decision had to be made, and this is what made the most sense after.
For sure.
Yeah. I don't think drag racing is going anywhere, but obviously drifting is on the come up.
Yeah, what it came down to is sitting on such a big piece of property. It's just so hard to do. It is so hard to do. Drag racing takes up so much space.
Yeah.
Love it. I do. I really, really love it. Pro mods are some of my favorite cars in the world. And yeah, it's a shame that it wasn't sustainable, but we found a way to keep the doors open and use what we have.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to set a model or a precedent for other drag strips? Like if other drag strips or other tracks come to you and be like, hey, like, was it the right call?
Oh, yeah, I hope so. I hope they do. And I mean, what's better viewing?
Right.
A soccer stadium?
Yeah.
That's like it. What else is better than that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Where you can watch all of this on either side of it, see all the action in one spot.
Everything.
Yeah, because that's the hard part with the racetrack is you're usually sequestered to one corner or a straightaway or something. Here you've got all of it.
Everything. You see everything from any point, any seat. Doesn't matter. You can see it all.
Yeah. No, it's super, super wild. I mean, I love coming here. It's neat, and we talk about the history and the memories of it. Like we're still making more, right?
Yeah. Every day, even at the school.
Yeah.
Every day, making new memories, teaching people. When finally something clicks for them, it's just the best.
Is there like one thing that you teach people where like that's usually the moment? Like I've chatted with Reese about this a lot, like getting people to learn how to drift. Is there like something people are often not doing that's preventing them from getting better?
It depends on their skill level, right? Like if it's a day oneer, maybe it's the transition in their first figure eight, but maybe it's someone who is in B group and wants to make the jump up to A group, or maybe he's trying to make the jump up to compete in the Gambler Series. And he's been trying to run the bank in the road course, and he finally gets it. That's the type of stoke level that I love.
When everything clicks and they're able to overcome whatever that fear is or whatever that thing that's holding them back, right?
Yeah.
It's
oh yeah.
I might have to get you between you and Reese. Maybe you guys can actually teach me how to be a decent drifter. I can. I'm just not great. Like I spend more time just analyzing everybody else's drifting than I do working on my own, unfortunately.
Honestly though, that's not a bad way to start.
Yeah.
Because you understand the dynamics, you understand what all the tools do, and if you could, learn that, it'll come real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I've owned my fair share of cars over the years, and I've put in a fair bit of track days. It's just like I don't know. I guess I've always just enjoyed party drifting. I've never really focused on like I want to get really, really good.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the difference. Plus, I'm always watching everybody else drive. I almost have more fun watching other people drive than I do driving myself.
That's also the double-edged sword.
Yep.
Same with me. I love driving too, but then like my fiance drives, and
nice.
Whenever she does something new and she gets it, that's almost more exciting to me than driving, but driving's still super, super fun.
Oh yeah, there's almost nothing better. I mean, it's if you're a drifting fan and you've never gone drifting, you have to.
Oh, hop in a car, get a ride along something. Have to.
Yeah, sick, dude. Well, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for helping us develop this and build this. And
like I said, anything that we can do, we're gonna do it. It's gonna be great.
So pumped. Well, I really appreciate it. I'm glad we get to hang out a little bit. Good, we get to hang out on Sunday and. Yeah, just have a good time and enjoy drifting some more. So
sweet, man. That's awesome.
Appreciate it, dude. Thanks again.
Thank you.
No worries. Cool. Like I said, thanks again to Mr. Knapp there and Kaufman for taking some time, and thank you for watching. And maybe you need a speed fit steering wheel cover for your car. I can't say it's going to help you with drifting, but it does look sick. Super easy clasp system. Fits, looks good. I mean, hey, I'm on my way to move to Florida, so I think I might need something like this. My steering wheel gets real hot, and this looks real hot, so why not? Why not throw it in there? Head over, Formula Drift Speed Fit Steering Wheel, available at AutoZone. My name is Jacob Gettens. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we are into the Seeding 16. We're going to see some of the coolest drivers go head-to-head, so stay right here, and we'll be back at 8 o'clock sharp with all the action for the Seeding 16 here in New Jersey. See you soon.
TNT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
On race day, when we want to show everyone out there who's the best.
Here we go, Frederick Osbo.
We really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Osbo.
If your answer to the summer heat is let it rain, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Is this it?